So let me share my screen. Okay. So again, my name is Kim Ware, and everything says Kimberly, but you can call me Kim. That's no problem. And I'm just pleased to be here with you this morning. I've been teaching with Brian for a little over 4 years, but I've been teaching as a whole for 16, almost 17 years at the collegiate level. I did my undergrad work at Butler University in Indianapolis in arts administration with an emphasis in theater. So I have all that business background coupled with still getting to do fine arts. And then I moved to Arizona as a newlywed to go to graduate school at ASU, where I got a master's in human communication. And the human in front of communication is really important because there's another field of communication that's more like mass communication, which is journalism, radio, print. But human communication deals more with the actual way that we speak to one another and the way that we make meaning throughout our lifetimes. So that's what I studied, and it has just been a pleasure and a privilege for me to get to work with so many different students over the course of the year and help them become more conscious communicators. And from these courses as a whole, we have received just really positive feedback, especially with critical thinking, because we're always thinking, right? We're always making decisions. And this course is really teaching you the soft skill of how to reason and make arguments to get your point across well. And it is a skill that is lacking in those who are coming out of other institutions and definitely out of high school. And it's something that employers are telling us, yes, please, please teach your students how to think critically. So some of it at the outset may seem a little bit out there as we start looking at just the very basics of critical thinking, which involves developing an argument, looking at premises, looking at different points to arrive at a logical conclusion. But just know, as you work through this practice, you're building a foundation that is going to get you to the end point where you can look at something in your work life and critically analyze it really fast and be able to arrive at a sound conclusion that isn't like wishy-washy or completely given to emotion. And I think that's something that all of us need to be able to do, either in our personal life or our professional life. Also, a little bit more about me. So I've got 4 kids. I live in Denver. I'm also a homeschooling mom. Anybody out there a working mom? So if you are, I got your back, because I know what it's like to be a working mom and well, homeschooling at the same time. It's been a great journey. We've been homeschooling for the last 9 years. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and then I've got 3 boys ages 13, 9, and 8. And they are doing piano lessons. My mom is here visiting, so she's shuffling them back and forth. And then they're supposed to be doing math and phonics workbooks while I am talking to you. So with that, let's just do a little icebreaker. Maybe tell me your name and what the best part of your morning has been so far. Let's start with Kimberly. You're at the top of my list.
Okay, so my name is Kimberly McPherson, same thing. You can refer to me as Kimberly or Kim. I sometimes, when I hear Kimberly, I think I'm in trouble, because that's usually how my mom always referred. So the best part of my morning is that, as I mentioned, I'm in exercise science, so I have a love of fitness. I was sort of on a little hiatus of some strength training, and this week I was able to start it back up. I got clearance. So the best part of my day so far is my workout, and also talking to my son, who lives on the West Coast. So he's 23, and those are always the best parts of my morning.
Wonderful. Congratulations, back in the saddle. All right, Tanya.
Hi, well, my name is Tanya Simcoe. However, I don't go by Tanya, I go by Mickey.
Okay.
People haven't called me Tanya in over 30 years. I'm a big Mickey Mouse fanatic, so that's how I got the
Yay.
nickname. Best part of my morning is probably just my Dutch brothers, going to Dutch
Yes.
brothers. Um,
What did you get?
a 911
Oh, that's serious.
with white coffee, which makes it even more serious, but it's
Ah!
delicious.
That's awesome.
I have 2 grown sons and 5 grandchildren, and I work full-time as a staffing coordinator at a nursing home remotely.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jessica? Oh, you're at work, so maybe you're welcome to type into the chat if you want, so we won't bother you. Patty, hi.
Hi. My name's Patty Gonzalez. I'm in San Diego, California. I've been in the mortgage and real estate industry for 30 years. Right now I'm doing property management, something different just for fun and part-time. And I have always loved the medical field, and I thought I would completely change fields at my age.
Yeah.
But it's been very, very fun, interesting. I have 3 grown children, 5 grandkids, 2 doggies. So anyways, that's my
That's
life right
wonderful.
now.
Yeah. Feel free to talk to us about the interest rates at any point since you've got a background in real estate.
Yeah.
You're going crazy.
It's a really when you're doing that job, it's extremely stressful.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And Eugenia?
Hey, I'm Eugenia Dubinsky. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I just finished the medical billing and coding program, and now I'm moving on to this program. The best part of my morning was probably getting coffee.
Yes. What kind of coffee do you get?
Well, it wasn't that good. I made it here in the office, but it's still coffee, so.
It's still coffee. It's still caffeinated. And
Mhm.
from what I hear, I spoke with someone earlier in Connecticut and Philadelphia, and they said it was really cold there. Is it cold where you
is.
are today?
Yeah, it is. It is cold. It's like 55 degrees here.
Ooh.
I'm
Okay.
about 3 hours from her upstate, and it's about 10 degrees colder.
Oh, goodness. Yikes. Okay, well, I'm sorry for you. I in Denver today, I think it's like a high of 70, maybe. It's really nice outside right now, but we're gearing up. January through March is just icky here. It's still kind of sunny, but that's when it gets cold and icky.
I'm in Oregon. It's beautiful right now.
Oh, is it? I've never been
Yeah.
to the upper Northwest. I really want to go someday.
I live in Phoenix, Oregon, which kind of confuses people because they think of Phoenix, Arizona.
Right? Yeah,
There is a Phoenix, Oregon.
that's
But
cool.
it's supposed to be high 80s, low 90s today.
Nice. That's lovely. And then Jessica says from Austin, Texas, major in human resources. She works for the government as an HR special emphasis specialist. No children, single, loves to travel, plan events, be with family and friends. I just love life and having fun. That's great. And Jessica is at work, so she's listening, joining us via chat. Thanks for sharing that, Jessica. And then Jan said your microphone's not working. If you'd like, if it's still not working, if you want to chat, you can. Just tell us what program you're in and the best part of your day. And then Susanna, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay,
Good morning.
Good morning. What program are you in?
Accounting program.
Okay, wonderful. And what has been the best part of your day so far?
Oh, we just prepare for school for my kid.
Okay, nice. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Thank
get into the course expectations and defining critical thinking to give you a foundation for the coursework you're getting ready to do. So first of all, I want to just go over how to navigate the course. So you can see you've got your week 1 homepage. Here is everything that you need to do. Something that I also rely on heavily is announcements. So in the announcements, I'll also put like a week 1 objectives or a to-do list to kind of condense some of this. So you can see boom, 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 what you need to do. But on this homepage is really where you're going to access the different things. So you can access reading. This week, it looks like we're reading chapters 1 through 2 of critical thinking. And just so you know, this course was redone about 6 months ago by myself and another instructor, and it's so much better than it was, so much more straightforward. The text is much better, much easier to follow. So I think you're gonna find it to be pretty, the content, not necessarily easy, but at least easy to follow and understand. If you're not used to thinking in this way, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but the more that you practice the formula of critical thinking, the easier it will get. Make sure you're completing your Learn It's. Those are there. So we've got 2 weeks worth, 2 chapters worth of Learn It's this week, and then you can also access your assignments. One thing I like about critical thinking is that you don't have an assignment due every week. It's due every other week. So when you see it say begin the assignment, that's serious. You really should begin the assignment, start taking a look at it, maybe answer the first couple of questions so you can get all the way through it and you don't feel stressed as you come up to the crunch time. Hey, Kimberly, you have a question?
So I know in my previous classes, they followed the theory of all your schoolwork is due by Sunday. Plan ahead to make sure you have enough time. Do you follow the due dates as fact, or do you follow that way of Sundays?
I'm flexible. So everything is due by Sunday at midnight, typically. Although if you communicate with me that you need more time, then I'm happy to work with you. I would rather have you get something done and get it done well than to rush through it or not do it at all.
Okay, so like,
yeah, so that was kind of, do I sound like a politician? That was a very wiggly answer. So yeah, so try to have it done by Sunday at midnight.
yeah, so, but if the date says it's due by like the 5th, you're still okay to have it done by Sunday?
Yes, one
Okay.
thing that Brian makes us do though, just to help keep your records accurate, is the day after you submit something, I go through and I have to put a temporary 0 so you can see what your grade looks like without that assignment, and I'll give you a friendly reminder. But
Okay.
as long as you and I are communicating, and I know what's going on, then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Yeah, I just want you to learn the material and I want you to do it. So that works for me. We do have something though in this class where the very last week, because of Thanksgiving, everything is due on Tuesday instead of pushing it out to Wednesday or Thursday when you look ahead in your calendar. And when I'm done with this, if you remember, I'll go back before we get off and double check the calendar and look at it with you. Okay, and then communication, I already said I rely heavily on announcements. I post some mini lessons for you. I'll give you a heads up, it's time to do yellow dig, and also that week 1 to-do list. So make sure you're checking announcements and reading those. Text me. I use text messaging a lot as well.
Yes,
And
she does.
it's for a purpose. So I'm not trying to like bombard you with meaningless text, but it's more for me just to keep on top of you and keep on communication with you. So what you will notice though, I don't usually require a really long response or anything to my text messages. I just want to know that you read it. So I'll typically do something fun at the end, like give me a thumbs up that you saw this, or send me what the weather looks like today via emoji, or your favorite food or something like that, just to kind of keep it light and fun, but also as communication between myself and the students that you read what I wrote and that you're aware of what's coming up. Everyone, it seems like as we get to week 5 of all modules, starts to feel fatigue. And that's when it is most important for me to keep cheering you on to say, okay, let's keep going. Let's finish this. We're not done yet. Let's get all the way to 8. And what I really love about Brian is that you can resubmit for mastery. So submit your assignments. My feedback is super straightforward. I'll tell you exactly what you did wrong and exactly what you need to fix, and then resubmit it. You can actually graduate Bryan University with a 4.0, like no problem. There's really not that much guesswork, if any, involved at all in finishing your program and finishing it really well. So I strongly encourage you to go after mastery and get those things done. And also too, when you're coming out of college and your employer sees your grade point average, it really does mean something, because it means automatically you have character, you've seen things through, you have time management skills, you've been able to complete all of your assignment. And at some level, you've had to communicate back and forth with your instructors to get to that point of having a high GPA. So, go for it. Do the best that you can. Also, that being said, though, I do understand that we have crazy busy lives. Sometimes things go by the wayside, and it's just all you can do to get through it. So I'm in your corner. I want you to succeed. So let me be your partner and communicate with me so that I can help you. Do you have any questions about communicating with me? No. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the course outlook, your learneds are on Saturdays. That's when they're due. That's when they should be completed. If you haven't already noticed, I'm not sure how far each of you are into your program, but once you start a Learnit, it starts your grade book going. So if you start a Learnit, until you get to that set level, it's still going to decrease your grade, because now that you have, at first, when you didn't start it, you didn't see those points accumulating. But now that you have an opportunity to earn those points get calculated automatically into your grade. So your grade's not going to bounce back up until you earn all of those points. I already mentioned assignments are in 2-week time frames, so make sure that you begin those. And then Yellow Dig, typically I'll post the Spark or the thing that we're supposed to be talking about on Mondays, but you have until Wednesday to really get rocking and rolling with that. So make sure with Yellow Dig that you are, I'm going to talk more about Yellow Dig in just a minute, but that you're doing it. And I'll tell you the why for Yellow Dig and all of that in just a minute. Any questions about the outlook for the course? Okay, good. So when it comes to the assignments, here's my expectations for you. Please ask questions. I would rather you ask me a million questions than ask no questions at all, and then get everything sort of half right on your assignment. And then I have to write you a whole bunch of feedback, and then you have to redo it anyway. So if there's something that you don't understand, just ask me. I'm here to help you. That's my job, and that's why I teach. Over and over again, I have found that teaching is really, it is the thing that I am passionate about. It's the thing that I'm gifted with. And so just ask me questions. Write the best that you can. Some of you have already had your English prereq and some of you have not. So I'm not looking for your skill in writing in this class. I'm looking to see that you understand the concepts. So a great formula for writing when it comes to short answer questions is to look at the prompt. See how many questions are in the prompt. If there's more than 2 question marks, you're probably going to have more than 2 paragraphs. Take those questions, rephrase them as topic sentences, give the concept, define the concept, and provide an example. That will work every single time for writing in this course and writing in your other courses too. If you can master that formula, you're going to be a rock star. Okay. Okay. Hi, Patty. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. That's good. All right. Take notes on things. There's something special that happens in your brain when you write stuff down. It's really going to help you for Learnits too. The method I like to use, some people take screenshots of the Learnits and the answers, and they kind of go back and forth on their screen. I like writing the answers down because I'm a visual learner and it helps me learn. The other thing I like about taking notes that will make Learnits go faster for you is that when you have your notes in front of you and you have the answer, you don't have to rely so much on your short-term memory to fill in those blanks correctly. You can just look down, see the answer, type it in. So take notes. And then I already mentioned resubmitting for mastery. So any questions about assignment expectations? I'm taking that as a no. Okay. So let's move on. Now, Yellow Dig, woohoo! Tell me real quick, how long have you guys been, has anyone been in the program for more than a year already?
have.
I'm almost a year.
Almost a year. So most of you, it seems like, are well acquainted with Yellow Dig. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So like, what are our feelings about Yellow Dig?
annoying.
Annoying. Okay. I can probably guess why you find it to be annoying. Would you like to elaborate on that at all?
Yes, because then I have to, the reason for me is because I have to constantly think of more topics to write about. And that's the annoying part for me, honestly.
I can get that. Yeah.
I like having the topics, and then I sort of like lay it out. The only thing that sometimes is frustrating is I try to do all of my schoolwork based off my work schedule. Like, for instance, I'm at work now, like many of us
Mhm.
are. So some people tend to wait until like Sunday to post. And by Sunday, I'm done with my schoolwork because I try to make that my day to recoup and refresh. So it gets frustrating when there's not enough to respond and interact with to get your points and all of that.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel that. And as an instructor, I experience that as well because I'm trying to get in there and comment to students. And then if everyone waits till Sunday, then I get slammed on Monday and Tuesday, responding to everyone in Yellow Dig and also grading everyone's papers in a timely fashion. So I get that. One of the things that I try to do, and hopefully you'll see this, is feed you topics so that you don't have to come up with anything out of your own brain. So a lot of my sparks are easy and fun so that you don't have to, like, you're already thinking really deeply in your assignments. Yellow Dig should be something that's refreshing for you, a time to connect with your classmates. So I will post things that are fun and light for the sparks, and also try to feed you a topic on like Wednesday or Thursday so that you don't have to think of anything. And when in doubt, if people aren't posting, contact me and be like, hey, throw something up there. And I can do that really quickly so that you have something to comment on and you don't have to think of anything else. What I really want for students is for Yellow Dig to be something that is a networking opportunity. It's a time to bounce ideas, but also as you continue through your courses, you're going to be seeing some of the same people. And it's a great opportunity for you to network, because once you leave here, you don't necessarily know what the job field is going to be like, or if you are going to be hiring someone at some point, or if you're going to be looking for a job. And these relationships that you develop at Bryan, because you know what everyone else is learning, you just never know how it's going to impact a future job situation later in life. Like, hey, I remember Patty, she was amazing at, in this course. She would be a really good fit here at this job that we're doing. So, and I know that that's happened for me where I've reached across into other spheres to recommend people for jobs by virtue of working with them at school. So that's sort of my why for Yellow Dig, is making it fun and engaging, refreshing, and also an opportunity to network. The grading for Yellow Dig, as you have seen, it's recalibrated every Monday. So you're going to see your grade go up, and then you're going to see it go down, and you're going to see it go up, and you're going to see it go down. A great way to avoid stress from that is just to make sure that you are maxing out your points. So just keep typing until you see that little bar say ding, and then ding, and then finally it will say, you've maxed out your points for this week, and then you're just done. Another way that I think works really well for me, because it's easy to get distracted to be doing Yellow Dig and then have something flash on your screen. Oh, I wonder what's going on over there, is to like do a time box. And you can do this for your assignments too, where I'll set a timer for 15 minutes, even as an instructor, be like, okay, I'm going to Yellow Dig for 15 minutes. No distractions. I'm not allowed to look at anything else, and I am just going to work. And then when that timer goes off, I give myself an opportunity to say, okay, am I done here? Or do I need 15 more minutes or what? but that helps me sort of break up my day into increments. And then I just, just earn as many points as possible. I also give out the accolades like candy to children, and which I'm not saying you are children, but I just give them out freely because why not? So like I've had people finish class with like 10,000 points. So you're going to be great. Everybody's going to be fine. Yellow Dig is going to be fun. And if it's still annoying at the end of the day, it's just the system. There's nothing else I can do about it. So are we all good? Yes, we are good. Okay, just a few more minutes. Response time. So Brian gives us 4 days to grade your paper. I usually don't take any longer than 72 hours to grade your work. If you want me to grade it right away, give me a heads up and I'll do my very best. But like I tell my kids, there's 4 of them and there's 1 of me. There's like 30 of you and 1 of me. So I'll do my very best, but 72 hours is about my baseline. 24 hours, I'll respond to you. If I haven't, it's gotten lost somewhere. I'm really great at responding. So just give me a friendly reminder. I try to rest on Sundays. I still, of course, have my cell phone so I can answer questions that way. But if you don't hear from me on Sunday, just know that, I've taken a personal day and I need to rest. And I hope that you guys too are finding time to rest in your life because it's crazy busy and you can't give from an empty tank. So whatever fills you up, make sure that you are creating time to do that. Okay, so just some quick definitions. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is not criticism and it's not opinion. So we are not judging things and we are not just giving random opinions. Rather, with critical thinking, we are making arguments. But first, it is careful thinking that is directed toward a goal. So you're going to see an argument, you're going to see proofs or premises that are leading to a particular goal. And we're teaching you how to think through each of those reasons to figure out good reasons for why you believe what you believe. And that is sorely lacking in our world today. Do you agree? Would you agree with that? People throw
Absolutely.
out, thank you. I mean, like we throw out stuff all the time. We don't give it much thought. We don't really care who it impacts. And at the end of the day, a lot of people cannot say the why behind this assertion that they're making. And this is what you're going to learn how to do in this class. So it's pretty formulaic. And once you get the formula down, it becomes much easier. So
Kind of like that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it's just kind of like what your parents used to say, because I said so.
That's right. That's right. Which we do still tell our kids, though. They have the right to hear because I said so at least 3 times a day. Obey first, ask later. But as adults, especially in the last 5 years, we have undergone quite the cultural upheaval in various ways. And critical thinking, again, is that soft skill that is lacking, especially among the kids who are coming out of high school and entering into college right now. So I'm just really thrilled that at Bryan, we give you a really concrete critical thinking class. So then when we talk about the why for beliefs, it's always important to define words. Always ask, what do you mean by that? What does that really mean? So that you have a working definition. So in this class, our working definition for belief is the way in which you structure reality. Has anyone had a psych class yet or interpersonal? Okay, so this topic is covered. Communication is sort of a crossroads discipline, and so is critical thinking, where some of these concepts you hear multiple times. But belief, when we talk about structuring reality, it's what's true and what's false. So most of us would agree that we talked about it being cold in some places and warm in some places, but largely we believe that seasons are going to happen. It is true that there is a summer, a fall, a winter, spring. It may look a little bit different for each of us depending on where we live, but those things are still happening. If someone said there is no such thing as summer, summer doesn't happen. We'd all look at them like they just spun their head around 3 times because of course summer happens. It is a true part of our reality. So that's what a belief is. Okay, so then claims are, they're either declarative statements that are true or false. So it's like it's a fact. It's either true or it's false. Claims cannot be questions or commands. I don't tell someone to do something and call that a claim. So, and I also don't ask questions and make claims. It's fact, true or false. So you can see how this sort of compounds on top of beliefs. And I know that I'm at the end of my time. Can I talk to you for about 5 more minutes?
Mhm.
Okay, thanks. If you need to go, it'll be recorded and you can catch back up. So we have arguments. So we've talked about beliefs. Now we're working into claims. Claims are the things that people make. So we have good claims and we have bad claims in critical thinking. So a good claim has a high probability of truth, and a bad claim has a low probability of truth. And these are things that are inherent that we probably all agree to. And we're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. But when you get in the heat of an argument, especially with someone who's really good at turning words and manipulating things, you can get turned around so fast where you're not sure if it's a good claim or a bad claim. But remember, good claims have to do with truth. Is this a high probability of being true? A claim is a declarative statement. It's fact. So does this claim have a high probability of being truth? If it doesn't, it's a bad claim. It doesn't work. So what does that mean? So what are claims? So we can look at some of these, and some of these are good claims and some of these are bad claims. So for the sake of time, let's take a look at the weather is much less good than was predicted. So is that a good claim or a bad claim? Well, first of all, it's not very good grammar, but we'll just overlook that. The weather is much less good than was predicted.
A bad claim
Okay, why do you say it's a bad claim?
because the weather is not as good as it was predicted, so that's bad.
Right, so in truth, it might be bad because we were expecting good weather,
Mhm.
but it really hinges on what do you mean by less good?
Mhm.
So that is not clearly defined, so that's a bad claim. Okay, so because what could be true for you is maybe not necessarily true for me.
Right.
So that's why it's a bad claim. Okay, so now let's look at Singapore is one of the healthiest countries in the world. Also going back to that whole truth thing, the weather is much less good than what's predicted. That's also an opinion. So remember, claims are not opinions. But now Singapore is one of the healthiest countries in the world. What kind of statement is that?
Good statement.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it sounds to me that it would be a good claim because it sounds like it's stating a fact.
Yes, that's right. It is a declarative statement. It is a fact. And we could go test that fact to see whether or not it's true or false. So that's a good claim. Okay. So what does that mean? Asking questions. So the kind of questions you're going to be asking throughout this course are, is it true? Is this claim telling me something significant? What else do we need to know to respond to this claim? So what's missing? Remember, the goal is always to get to the root, to find the possible meanings of a claim. So tonight at dinner, if you're having dinner with other people, I challenge you, they'll make a statement and ask them, what do you really mean by that? And just see what happens. It's really fun. And it will drive more conversation and help people and you guys just get to the root to find exactly what are you really saying? Okay, so this is an opportunity just to practice. The supermarket's products are much cheaper than that one's. So the question we would ask is it true? Is that significant? Is there any information that we're missing? This supermarket's products are much cheaper than that one's. Again, That's horrible grammar. I don't know where, it must have been late when I put that together. I apologize.
I think the question you would have to ask is, what are that ones?
Mhm. Yeah. What are that ones? Is it a product that is used by a lot of people, by just me?
Is it all products or is it specific products?
Right. That's good. So it's not a very good claim, is it? It's a bad claim because we're missing information. Okay, then just moving on, what is an argument? So then when a claim provides support for another claim, it becomes an argument. So it's that support. When we have multiple pieces working together, a claim and a claim, we can move from a belief or a conclusion with reasons. So it is the conclusion with the claims that brings us to a full argument. So I'm gonna move through this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back because of time. This is a lot longer than I remembered it being. I haven't taught critical thinking for a little bit. So I'm going to come back. I'll do a mini lesson on those few things and post a recording for you. Okay.
Excellent.
So the key takeaways really is that critical thinking is evaluating arguments to determine if they're good or bad. It's an exercise at problem solving. And these are things that we do every day. So are you going to be able to master this within 8 weeks? Probably not. You're going to do great on your assignments because you're going to resubmit for mastery. But this is something that you just practice over a lifetime. And it really is a lifetime because we are continually receiving new claims, new declarative statements, making arguments. They challenge what we believe to be true. And we're doing this all the time. So really, we're learning how to problem solve in communication. So this is going to be a great class. Please, please, please reach out to me with any question that you have. Know that I'm happy to help. And I'll see you on Yellow Day.
Will you share the PowerPoint? in the
Yes.
Announcements? Okay,
Yes, I will post the PowerPoint in the announcement so you can see the slides. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Have a good
And-
day.
Yeah.
Kim, before you go, I have a question, but it's just for you.
Okay, so I'll hang out for just a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Patty. Thanks, Susanna.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
Ethan, we go put some more in here, please.
I was just gonna, I need to talk to financial aid, get my associate's program payment set up. But also, I'm gonna reach out to admissions and find out why I was on your list. I know you said you were gonna do some investigating, but I thought I'd also ask what had happened.
Yeah, and so there's a person that runs a report, and you can ask admissions, but it's probably better for me to ask her specifically.
Okay.
And then just forward you the answer.
Okay.
Or I can
Yeah, I can't remember his name. The admissions director got me all set up for the classes starting on October 3rd. So when I got your text last night, it was a little disconcerting.
right, but you said you'd been here for a year, is that right?
Well, I just graduated the coding and billing class and I took a month off.
That's why. I bet that's why. Yeah, so it probably, according to like our back data system, is probably just an issue with the dates. But okay, I'm trying to just double check Tanya Simcoe, but I know it's Nikki.
That's okay.
Okay, tell me again, what did you graduate with?
The medical and billing, medical coding and billing. Of course. I graduated September, what was it, September 3rd?
And is that a certificate, associates?
It's
What
a
is that?
certificate. It's a certificate. I'm preparing for the CCP exam.
Mickey took a month off and re-enrolled, and remind me the current program is?
I think it's the HIM associate program, Health Information Management Health Associates Program.
Okay, so I'm just gonna copy you to this email just to save you the extra step. Tell me what your email is.
The Bryan University or the,
Yeah, whatever your preferred email is. What's your preferred email address?
it doesn't matter. I use both of them.
Okay.
the
Is it
Bryan
Tanya?
We can use the Bryan one.
Is it Tanya.simco?
Yes, I think so.
Great. So I said, Mickey is on this list. She graduated with the medical coding and billing certificate in early September. Mickey took a month off and re-enrolled in HIM. Can you please check as to why she's on this list? It was a shock to her last night when I contacted her, and we are curious as to what happened.
They may
Mickey
not know me as Mickey.
Yeah, I put Mickey Tanya.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and that's actually, yeah, that's not the way your name didn't show up like that on this list. But yeah, so, okay, so you're copied, and hopefully we can both get answers at the same time, so we're all on the same page.
Well, I was
And-
able to get, I got the 1,000 points last night.
Woo, good
on
job.
the-
Oh, yeah, yeah, and you didn't have to get the full 1,000 points, like attendance to get in there, but
That's all right. I'm a little nervous on this class. I'm okay with. I'm a little nervous on the math class. I hadn't been in school for 40 years, and having to take algebra and linear are all a little bit stressful. So
yeah,
I
we
went ahead.
have we have some good tutors.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I used them with the last classes that I took. So
Okay, good.
I struggled in the beginning until I discovered the tutors, and I don't struggle so much anymore.
Oh, that's good. I'm with you. That's why I'm in communication and not in math, because we don't really get along, me and math.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't one of my strong suits in school. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll get through this. Thank you though for your, all
Okay.
right,
Okay, have a good day.
you too.
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy the weather.
Thank you, you too.